To always get the latest Game Tea, don't forget to follow us on social media. You can find us at Twitter at Game Tea Podcast X. You can find us on Facebook at The Game Tea Podcast, and you can find us on Instagram at The Game Tea Podcast. We post frequently, giving you podcast updates, posting gaming news, and the occasional meme. Check them out after the show, and thank you so much for listening to The Game Tea Podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Game Tea Podcast. My name is JP.
I'm Zach.
All right, Zach, I will give you $5 if you tell me who's missing today.
Let me see. All right, you're here.
Uh-huh.
Is Gracie in the room?
Gracie is not in the room. My dog Gracie is not in the room. You're right. Okay. You won $5. Right. That's the missing piece.
Hell yeah. I want you to use that for a new headset for me. Thanks, JP.
No problem, buddy. $5 towards that new headset.
I'll make a small dent.
You know what? For once though, Czar's not here. I don't want to talk about the fact that Czar's not here, even though what the hell, Czar? Zach has finally caved and got himself a gaming PC.
Yay! It's nice not being in college and being able to get things every now and then.
Treat yourself is what I say. The specs on it were pretty good. I helped him pick it out. You're just doing a pre-made from Best Buy, but still the specs on it were not bad at all.
Yeah, I got JP's seal of approval. And with how much he talks about his PC.
Have I told you about my PC?
I figured it was a good thing to get you on my side. So I appreciate what you do, man. Thank you.
You know what the best part about this is when I say, do you know about my PC? You can also go, yeah, my PC's great. What about you, Czar?
Burn. One of us.
So yeah, welcome to the club, my man. I'm very excited for you, but you haven't received it yet, so you are on your wife's laptop.
It's not my favorite, but it works, and that's what matters.
Let's talk a little bit about this episode this week, Zach. We'll get to the itinerary, but what has been happening lately with all these game release talkings? Like, just so much stuff has come out, even post the PlayStation event.
Thank goodness. It's been such an awful 6 months for gaming. Like, who starts a podcast during COVID?
These three idiots.
My goodness. All right. So thankfully, the game companies decided to actually participate in the whole year. So we finally have some stuff to talk about besides how great the Nintendo Switch is doing. Did I tell you how great the Nintendo Switch is doing, JP?
You've mentioned it a couple of times.
Yeah. Apparently I'm a Switch fanboy.
Oh, did you listen to the last episode?
It's fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine. And you know what?
It's not wrong.
In your defense, while we get into this episode, it's a good time to be a Nintendo Switch owner and a Nintendo fan altogether. And PlayStation is kind of at civil war with itself right now.
We get to get into that all day today on the fun things that's going on. I'm trying to spoil it for him, JP. It's good stuff.
Nope, absolutely not. All right, Zach, what do you say? You want to give him a taste of the itinerary for this week?
Yes. I'm going to put on my thing, get my pinky out. On today's episode of the Game Tea Podcast, we'll be talking about Crash 4. It's about time. Last of Us 2 release. JP's hyped.
Yeah.
And reviews that are
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's perfect. All right. And then after that, we have Pokemon Snap.
Aw, Snap.
That's a thing.
Oh, my God. Dude, the prayers have been answered for that one. I can't wait to talk about that.
I was going to say, we're in a weird timeline where I'm like, COVID's awful, but we got new Pokemon Snap. So, I mean.
So how bad are things really?
Right. Perspective, guys, perspective. And then we have a new Smash Bros. Fighter that literally got announced today that I'm pretty excited to talk about. JP, did you get to see who it was?
You told me who it is. I'm not surprised. We'll talk about it in a little while. I've got things to say. As always, I've got things to say.
Yeah, that's why I hired you. All right. And then finally
Wait, I'm getting paid?
No one tell him anything. All right. After that, we'll just talk about the game releases and some stuff that we're hyped out for, and that should just about do it. What do you think, JP?
I think that sounds like a fantastic episode, Zach.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, with that all out of the way, this first one, since it's not coming to my system, it's all you, baby.
All right. Now, to be fair, with this first game we're about to talk about,
This time around, okay, so let's back up a little bit. Let's go to, I want to say it was like 4 years ago at this point. Maybe like 3 to 4 years ago. I don't remember how long it's been. Crash Bandicoot came out with a trilogy release of its first 3 games that was at first a PlayStation exclusive. And oh my God, was that fun. Zach, did you ever get a chance to come over here and play a little Crash Bandicoot?
I waited 2 years to play it on my Nintendo Switch. And holy crap, I don't know if I was really good at platformers as a kid, or I've sucked since being a kid, because holy crap, Crash is a lot harder than I remember. I
forgot how rage-inducing Crash Bandicoot was. That Misty level where you're on the bridge, do you know what I'm talking about?
The pixel-perfect turtle jump hop where you just have to hit the exact frame of that small little tile on the broken ladder? Yeah, I remember it.
That was worth 4 controllers on its own.
Yeah, seriously, I've got 2 new windows, JP. God. 2 new windows.
All right, so the Crash train was here and hype a few years ago because the trilogy got released. Everything was remastered, everything was beautiful, but it did beg the question, what's coming next for Crash Bandicoot? And I think we got our answer because just a few days ago, Crash Bandicoot 4 was announced for the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. Zach, did you see this trailer?
Yeah, man, holy crap. First off, let's just start with the best part. They're ignoring everything after the trilogy. Thank God. Oh my God.
So not essentially in the Crash Bandicoot universe, nothing's canon anymore after the first 3 games. Right. Is that what they're saying?
No Crash Twinsanity, no Crash Wrath of Cortex, and any of that trash after that. Literally, this is a continual downhill slide.
I was in a position where I heard about that and I was just like, that was something people were upset about?
Yep. Those were dark times for Crash. Dark times. Not everyone can have, Mario carrying their consoles all the time. You know what I mean? You just can't.
It's funny you say that because Sonic was Sega's answer to Mario, and then Crash Bandicoot was Sony's answer to Sonic and Mario. So it's kind of appropriate that you say that.
Yeah. Gotta get my swings in here because I'm pretty salty because it's an Xbox One and PS4 title, and I'm sad.
We're always sad. This is not a safe space.
It's not oh man. It's a pretty safe space. I feel safe with you, JP. I've known you forever.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it comes like Microsoft Game Pass so I can play it on my brand new PC that I've yet to tell JP about enough. So
we're going to link the gameplay trailer for Crash Bandicoot 4 to the Twitter at GameTPodcastX.
Insert Czar reminder right here.
Remember that.
It is our remind me to post this because I never do when I say that.
Help
me. Okay, but anyway, let's talk a little bit about the trailer because I've already watched it about 2 or 3 times. So Zach, just upon watching this, what were some of your first impressions?
It actually looks like they took the Crash formula and they just took it up to 11, which I think is exactly what we wanted. Hopefully less pixel perfect jumps, but there's like all these transformations that I saw. There was some like blue mask on Crash or hanging out by Crash, and then Crash had like a white suit at some point. I don't think Crash Bandicoot's ever had like power-ups.
So
do you recall that?
No, never. At least not in any of the 3 games that were in the remaster from a few years ago. The big thing here is, first of all, talking about how gorgeous this game's gonna look. Because I mean, like just from the trailer, you kind of get that they're really giving the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One its last hurrahs, kind of, because this looks beautiful. And this is going to get ported over to Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, where it's just going to look even better.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I don't think it's an understatement to just explain how beautiful this game's going to look.
They had like a lava level where the T-Rex got like submerged in lava, and it was popping with colors. It's a good looking thing. You guys got to watch this trailer and turn up the YouTube quality and enjoy that stuff because it looks good. JP, anything else that you saw that really took your eye away besides just how great the graphics looked and then the power-ups?
The power-ups were plentiful and amazing. The game looked gorgeous. The level design was versatile and abundant. There's a lot of different kinds of settings that they show here. Like Zach said, like a volcano dinosaur level, like a modern city level.
That modern city level looks so good. I know we just said not talk about just talk about graphics, but gosh. And they had like flying cars and stuff, and I just thought it looked really good. It reminded me of the Ratchet and Clank trailer.
Oh yeah,
when they were doing that.
Oh yeah,
it looks similar.
And of course, an underwater level.
Yeah.
No one likes the underwater levels.
Don't know why they always feel like they need to put them in there, but they're there.
Yeah, we can't understate how beautiful the game is. This trailer came at kind of a weird time post PlayStation 4 hype, but still, always good to see some more stuff in there. Coming to Xbox One, coming to PS4. And Zach, what day is this coming out?
October 2nd of this year.
That is just a short 5 months away, about more like 4.5. Wait a minute. No, this is June. We're halfway through June.
JP, you can do this. You can do this, baby. I believe in you.
When did it be? When did it become June?
It's all a blur, man.
Where did this year go?
Let's not even talk about this year. We literally, I hope this is like crossed off. Anyway, okay. One more thing I really want to take note of is it gave me some like Sonic Adventure 2 like flashbacks because he was like grinding on rails.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really neat. And then like there was one point where he like went underneath the rail and was like grinding with his hands. And I know like a lot of other people do it besides Sonic.
Yeah.
I've seen, it's kind of reminding me of like Jack and Daxter too. I think Jack even did it.
So the name of the game with Crash Bandicoot is the reason why the first 3 games were remastered and people are like, okay, the first 3 games are all that matters, is because I mean at a point with Crash Bandicoot, it's gimmicky. I mean, what the challenge is going to be for Crash Bandicoot 4 is finding that perfect balance of giving fans what they want, making things new, making things exciting, but not making anything too gimmicky, you know, making it feel like an actual staple in the gameplay. I think that's going to be how Crash Bandicoot 4 hits the sweet spot.
Right. They've always been able to like add in things. It's always been like riding a dinosaur, riding your motorcycle. They incorporated Coco for some things, and then Coco could like, she pretty much did the same thing, riding on some kind of vehicle. So I'm excited to see where they can take this platforming to where you're right. Like it's not just a gimmick, it's like the whole new level that like innovates the gameplay a little bit.
You go, Glen Coco. I'll give you another $5 if you can tell me what that's from.
You go, Glen Coco. I don't know. Where's that from, JP?
Come on, the movie Mean Girls.
What the?
Oh, awkward. I've never seen Mean Girls, JP.
You didn't sit in your fraternity house watching Mean Girls every night like we did? What a loser.
Anyway, yeah. So anything else you would add on this awesome news about the new Crash 4? It's about damn time. Oh, sorry. It's about time.
You know, it's a little weird not seeing this be a PlayStation exclusive for a little while again. But to be fair, I don't know why they did that in the first place. So Xbox fans and PlayStation fans rejoice for what's going to be one of the last big hurrahs for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One X.
And maybe a year later, who else knows? It could be coming to PC and Switch. We'll see. Just takes them a little bit longer, you know? Just takes a little bit longer.
Maybe, my friend, maybe. All right. What do we have up next, Zach?
Oh, this one's all you do, boo-boo.
All right. So
I like to make JP read these because I'm evil.
Yeah. So up next, we're going to talk about The Last of Us 2 release, sales, and reviews. You'll understand the turn here in a little while, but there's a lot of good, bad, and ugly to The Last of Us Part 2 right now.
JP, you just got the game, right?
Not only did I just get the game, but I mean, like, I didn't actually start playing till about a day and a half after its release.
Oh my God, why? What are you doing?
I'm trying to work and save up for grad school. So yeah, for numerous reasons, I didn't get to the game until about a day and a half after it was officially released on the PlayStation. Currently, I'm about 5.5 to 6 hours into the game.
That's pretty good for like, what, a day? So what do you think so far, man?
I mean, just my personal opinion, not taking anything I know is to come out of it. I've really liked the game so far. For one, it's absolutely gorgeous, which I mean, we knew it was going to be, but even Zach said something about it. Zach, you saw some gameplay, didn't you?
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of it, just trying to, you know, do my job. Just like, sometimes I get out of my little Nintendo bubble and I explore other things. And holy crap, I only have a 1080p monitor and it was still popping. The game looked gorgeous. So
it did.
When I get my new PC, I can't wait to check it out again.
I talked about my PC.
This is fun. I see why you do this.
Yeah, I know, right? Wait till Czar's here.
So the game is gorgeous, JP. What about gameplay wise? Is it the same old thing? It had a really good gameplay back on the PS3.
It sure did. And even the remastered, when that came out 1 year later on the PS4, that was great too. The gameplay didn't change too much from the way the first game kind of went, and I personally don't have a problem with that. Because
if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Exactly. I mean, more than anything, we wanted to see where the story was going, but the game mechanics, I mean, people argued about the first Last of Us were perfect. So exactly, why ruin a perfect thing? And you can call that cheap if you want, but I'm like, hey, whatever.
I don't want to talk too much about spoilers, about story because of spoilers and the game just being so recent. But JP, what's your initial like impression of like, you know, what you've seen so far?
Obviously, when we talk a little bit later about what's going on with kind of a little bit of the quote unquote controversy, that's where you're going to start to see people kind of have differing opinions. But my personal opinion is so far, I've really liked what I've seen with the story. I mean, obviously, I'm only about a fifth to a sixth of the way through the game, so I haven't seen everything yet. But I don't think it's a spoiler to say that the first 5 hours are already a roller coaster of emotions.
Right. It's a no hold bars zombie game, and zombie games aren't too pleasant, are they?
No.
A lot of stuff happens.
No, they usually are not, Zach.
All right. I think that's enough of that because I don't want to put my foot in my mouth.
No spoilers. We just talked about spoilers. The game came out the 19th. On July 19th, that's going to be it. Bars off. I am yelling at this microphone, and you guys are going to listen.
All right. I can do that for you.
Thanks, buddy.
So I'm going to talk on this article from VG 247. It's by Cheyenne Maher or Cian Maher.
I think you had that right.
Hope I'm saying that right, and I'm very sorry if I didn't.
We are so sorry.
Basically, this is just in the UK, but The Last of Us 2 is so far on pace to be the best-selling PlayStation 4 game of all time.
Of all time.
Beating out Uncharted 4 by literally like 1%. It's like 1% ahead, which is in the reign of like margin of error, but still, that should say that this is a really captivating game. And I think Zara and I and JP talked about it last week, where controversy is good publicity. Like, it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. Like, this, everyone knew about Last of Us 2.
Yep, absolutely. We don't really have any like big sales records yet. All we have is UK, but we talked about how, you know, how is this game going to be affected sales wise? And I predicted that I thought this game was going to sell no matter what the controversy was. And I think it's safe to say that I was partially right. I mean,
yeah, we got some time to get through here, but I think we nailed it. We said it was going to be a pretty high selling game. For some context, finally knocked out Animal Crossing New Horizons. So that's a thing.
I mean, the sales for New Horizons were astronomical as well. So that's crazy.
Yeah. And actually it is the UK's fastest selling box game of 2020 so far. Mm-hmm. So even smashed Animal Crossing New Horizons. I said that kind of funkily, so I wanted to rephrase that. You know,
there's a factor here I didn't even consider the last time we were talking about this too, and that's the fact that the PS4, and I mean the Xbox too, but the PlayStation, this generation of gaming is coming to a close very soon. And this is probably going to be like the last huge hitter for the PlayStation 4 that's ever going to come out. So I think that had a little bit to do with it too. I mean, the sales were going to be boosted because anything with The Last of Us on it is going to see outrageous sales. But there's a lot of factors here that are playing into why the sales for this game are so amazing. It's the hype. It's everything surrounding the game. It's
controversy, pandemic, high install base,
sadness.
I'm forgetting
just
one
overall sadness. Zombie games always sell well.
Right. I think you got it. All right, so there's a lot of good with The Last of Us 2, but in the review scores, JP, if we look at the Metacritic score right now,
I don't want to look at the Metacritic score right now.
The Meta score, which takes all the professional quotes reviewers, it's sitting at a 95, and I think the highest rated game is Ocarina of Time at 97. So this game is up there for one of the best games of all time.
Yes, that's correct, and that's per Metacritic score.
Right. Now, when we get into the user score, we kind of have night and day. It's got a 4.1. And so this is where that any publicity is kind of bad publicity. So 21,000 people have a positive opinion about this and 37,000 have a negative. And I think that's pretty crazy.
Okay, so here's the dilemma for me personally. I am so incredibly stuck between a rock and a hard place because there is nothing I want more to investigate why people are giving this game such a low score. But that would open me up to the possibility of spoiling the game for myself. And in fact, I more than likely would do so. So I have to hold my tongue. And I have to just keep playing the game and forget about these scores. And then once I'm done playing, I can come back and see what everybody is so upset about. Zach, you don't give a shit and you already spoiled the game for yourself. So in the most non-spoiler way you can possibly explain to me, do you understand why this game is getting this low of a score from its user base?
Yeah, poor writing. It's just poor writing. Everyone who says this, there's probably some person review bombing this thing to why it has so many of them, but it's just a bunch of people who had high expectations for a game and those expectations weren't met. And some people don't like the LBGT thing, which we talked about. That could be why some of these scores are dumb. But what I'm gathering is a lot of this comes to some really questionable writing, like just some, like I don't want to say anything else. There's questionable writing.
Right, it's like stepping on eggshells.
And it's just they did stuff for the sake of plot. And that's all I'm going to say. Yeah, so I can see why some people are upset about this. And I'm excited to get to go into a deeper dive and kind of break this apart with JP in a few weeks when it's not so spoily for our viewers.
Like I said, we are starting the timer right now. On July 19th, whatever episode comes after July 19th, I am going on a rant. I am going on a huge rant about how I feel about this game. Because here's the thing. First of all, I said it last week that no matter how good the game is, the expectations are so high for this game that they're probably, people are going to probably be disappointed anyway. Even if that weren't true, I have a feeling, even though I don't know why people are so upset yet, and it's killing me not knowing, and there's nothing I want to do right now than find out why, I have a feeling that it's not justified. I have a feeling that people are freaking out over stupid things and, like you said, bombing the score, trying to make it as low as possible. Because, most of what I've heard, most spoiler-free reviews of the game that I've heard from friends or people on YouTube have said the game's really good. It's not perfect, but no game is, but it was good. And then to see this user score, I'm just like, okay, something has to be going on here. I don't believe that it's that bad. I want to know. Zach.
And you'll find out soon, baby. On July 19th, we get to talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited.
I am going off. And by the way, it's July 19th. The reason why I'm going with July 19th is because in answering gaming's biggest questions, I told Czar and Zach that 1 month is the proper amount of time to wait until spoilers are off the table. And I have to hold myself to that. So I will give another warning as soon as I start talking on that episode, but I'm not holding back. I am going to yell. I don't know if Zach and Czar are going to get a word in that whole episode.
Oh, I can yell too, baby. It'll be a good time.
It's going to be a good time.
All right. Anything else you want to add on to Last of Us 2? I'm anticipating that July 22nd episode now.
Yeah, it's killing me not knowing, but I'll figure it out and we will talk about this. Zach, I need some better news. What else is going on in gaming right now?
I got you, baby.
Give me good news, bud.
So this week, Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific time, Pokemon presented their Pokemon Presents. And they pretty much just threw out a bunch of games. And one of them, JP, was actually good.
What?
What? And so that game is Pokemon Snap.
Oh my god!
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yay!
For the Nintendo Switch. JP, did you get a chance to check out that trailer?
Did I get a chance to check out that trailer? Are you kidding me? The second I heard that, and for once I actually did post it to the Twitter, like I said I was going to.
Hey, this is for you.
I took a look at that trailer. I watched the hell out of it. Pokemon Snap was probably my favorite game for the N64.
Okay, come on now.
Dude, no, I mean it.
Better than Mario 64. Better than Ocarina of Time. Better than Mario Party 2.
Nothing's better than Mario Party 2. All right, fine. Maybe not my favorite game. I will say this. It's probably the game I put the most time into. How's that? Is that controversial?
That's your opinion, man. It's not bad.
Well, that's just like your opinion, man. Zach, how long have we been asking for a new Pokemon Snap?
Since the dawn of time, since the GameCube came out.
That's honestly no joke. Is they could have put a Pokemon Snap out on GameCube. They could have put a new Pokemon Snap out on Wii. They could have put a new Pokemon Snap out on the Wii U. Hell, they could have put it on a handheld. But you know what? We're getting it to Switch. We finally did it, buddy. We made it.
Woo! All right, so JP, some things that stuck out to me that I'm really hyped about is this game looks gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
This is what I imagined like the Pokemon Switch looking like.
Mm-hmm.
You got these like gorgeous ass Swanna flying through the air. You got this ginormous Wailord in the ocean. You got a Blastoise eating an apple. And I mean, I know it's easier for a rail shooter game to look better because you have to worry about everyone like, you know, exploring the world and doing all these other things. But still, I hope to goodness that the next Pokemon core game can look this good.
I 100% agree with you on pretty much everything you just said. It's going to be really hard to mess this game up because the whole concept of Pokemon Snap is you're on this rail that guides you through on a trek through forests, through the water, through caves, through whatever, and you take pictures of Pokemon. That is it. And it's amazing.
There's so many different interactions. Like you really get, what do you call that? Rewarded from just exploring all the different interactions that is at your disposal. It almost feels like an action. It's not a rail shooter, but it almost feels like a rail shooter, like Star Fox 64. Like you're blowing stuff up, but kind of in a cutesy Pokemon kind of way. And I did not get the appeal at all until like I played it for myself, and I was like,
"Oh my god,
I can see it." It's just so immersive, man. You really feel like you're at like a wildlife safari. Like the world is your oyster, man.
And you know what I really loved about the Pokemon trailer that goes unnoticed a lot is even to this day, after we've had 8 generations of Pokemon, and goodness, how many Pokemon are there now, Zach?
893 without, you know, extra forms, all that crap.
There are 893 Pokemon, but through every Pokemon game, I mean, I feel like the same Gen 1 to Gen 2 Pokemon really get highlighted, if that makes sense. If Charizard, I'm going to say something controversial. Charizard's extremely overrated. And I did not...
You're doing that on purpose. You're just trying to hurt my feelings.
You're just trying to hurt me.
You're attacking me, and I hurt. I hurt, JP. Do you feel good about yourself?
A little.
Okay, and when you say Gen 2, all right, listen, you need to appreciate that. My boy Typhlosion has gotten no love since Pokemon Gold. He has gotten progressively worse.
You're right.
Since he is released.
You're right. He
and
really has. I mean,
it.
Feraligatr is probably the most hyped up from Gen 2.
Okay, anyway, sorry. Totally off topic. You can go back to your point.
Anyway, the point I was trying to make is what I love is that there is such a diversity in like the generations of Pokemon. Obviously, Pikachu's the mascot for the franchise, so he's in there a little bit. But other than that, they're really showing off like more than just the first couple of gens of Pokemon here. I'm seeing Pokemon from everywhere. I'm seeing Torterra from Gen 4, Bouffalant, Wailords, Bidoof.
Hey, my HM slave was the best. Okay, that guy did it all for me.
You're not. He was my HN slave in Gen 4 too. So yeah, that's all great. I can't wait for another Pokemon Snap. I know the Pokemon community is very excited. I had a question. You mentioned earlier that Pokemon is having has been having its very own like kind of, you know, web video seminar, kind of like what PlayStation and Nintendo and everybody else has been doing. Is that what's happening now? Is even Pokemon is so big that they're having their own presentations at this point?
Well, yeah, it's the highest grossing media franchise of all time, beating out Star Wars.
That's amazing. Can we expect any more of these events coming soon?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. JP, this Wednesday at 7 Pacific time, I think, is when the next event is. And JP, this may be what most people are hyping up. It's one of two things. It's either Let's Go Johto, which, I mean, that'd be fine for me at least.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's your remake of Diamond and Pearl.
Oh my God. You know what? I would be really happy with either of those, but Diamond and Pearl deserves a remake. Diamond and Pearl has been slept on, people. It needs to be remade.
Speaking of, JP, can we tell everyone we're going to be debating this week in the Great Debate?
Dude, do we want to tell them what we're doing for Saturday? What do you think, Zach?
I feel like it goes in pretty well, man. I feel like it does, don't you?
Yeah.
Let's chill it out a little bit. So on the great debate this week, I'm really looking forward to this because, we are passionate Poke fans here.
That's the one thing we actually all have in common. We never disagree on Pokemon. We love Pokemon.
Well, we disagree on one thing. We disagree on what the best generation is.
That's true.
And so JP over here is a Gen 4 fanboy, and Gen 4 is fine. I'm not going to give Gen 4 a hard time, but I think Gen 4.
Okay.
I won't even go into it because I don't want to ruin my debate. But JP's old Gen 4 is so cool. So I'm really happy that he is potentially getting a remake so they can fix up all the things that piss me off about that generation. Because there are some things they got to fix.
We're not getting into this now, buddy. But yes, on the great debate for Saturday, Czar, Zach, and myself are each defending which Pokemon generation was the best for Pokemon, for games, for overall replayability. So don't miss this Saturday's episode because that's going to be fun. That was a good plug, Zach. Good plug.
Yeah. And you'd be proud of us because none of us are Gen 1ers, all right? We appreciate them all, okay?
If you're a Gen 1er, you want to be a fan of Pokemon because it's popular, but you never played anything past the first game. I genuinely believe that.
You got it. There's so many good things about Pokemon. Anyway. Do you think anything else to add about Pokemon Snap, buddy?
Nope, just that it looks incredible once again. Czar, we will add this to the Twitter a little bit later. Czar is going to punch me right in the throat if I do not. He's going to drive to my house. He's going to wait till I'm asleep. He's going to rise above my bed, and he's going to punch me right in the throat.
That's awesome. I got a very visual play-by-play right there.
Zach's going to record it and make me post it to the Twitter, so I learned my lesson.
You won't forget again.
Well, that is not the only good piece of Nintendo news that we got this week. Zach, what are we talking about next?
My pride and joy, Super Smash Bros. Has finally gotten its next new character revealed with the release date coming.
Oh, okay.
Exciting stuff.
I didn't know we got a release date too. All right, Zach, who's the character and when are we getting them?
Min from ARMS is coming. I really think there's a lot of people who are slept on ARMS, and it came out when the Switch was early. So I kind of understand that. But basically this is coming at us from Twitter, by the way. Nintendo posted a big thing in Sakurai, basically did a play-by-play showing all the unique features of Min. And you really got to give it to my man Sakurai. Okay, this guy, when you buy these DLC characters, they are at extra cost. When you buy a DLC character, they are the most unique character in the entire game. And that really shines with Min. So ARMS is a brand new IP from Nintendo back in 2017.
Did they drop that as a launch title for the Switch?
It was out in June. I think it came out in June. So it was close.
Okay, but it was pretty early in the Switch's life.
And so that was one of their big things they were using to hype up Switch. And it was a really fun fighting game. It came out and it was kind of bare bones, but they kept doing DLC updates and it eventually got it to where it was a pretty solid title. But usually with most new IP things, they take a little while to stick. Usually it's the second or third that's really like, this is a good franchise. And I would argue that this is a blooming title.
Okay.
And so anyway, in that game, what's really cool about that is you can punch with both hands. And it's basically like Wii Sports boxing, but like the next level.
With like a Joy-Con in both hands type deal.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And you can punch at both the same time. When you punch at the same time, you can throw people, or you can alternate your punches. So one's a little bit to like curl to the side.
Okay.
And what Sakurai basically did with this character when he's incorporated into Smash Brothers is you know how you usually have your A for your normal attacks and your B for your special attacks?
Yeah.
Your A is still your punch, your smash attacks, but your B is also like your other hand that you punch with.
What?
So it's almost like you're playing ARMS inside of Smash Brothers.
That's really creative.
Yeah, and they threw in a bunch of unique stuff. Like Min has dragons on her arms, so she can kind of like do like a little bit of laser fire. And I'm pretty sure she's a charged up, so it's not too OP. But yeah, the Mad Lad Sakurai, he really went out of his way this time. He did some really cool things with this character.
Okay, so Min from Smash is going to be our girl for the next DLC coming to the Switch. I've got a few things I want to question and a few things I want to point out. So, Zach, you basically talked a lot about how you feel with ARMS, the game that Min is from, the game ARMS. But how do you feel about her joining the Smash roster? Do you think that she's going to complement the roster really well?
Oh, yeah. I think she's really unique, and it's a new Nintendo IP, so I think it's good. I love the DLC fighters, and I want Sora and Goku as much as the next guy.
Yeah. Sora for Smash!
We have, other than a Fire Emblem character, I feel like we haven't had any good like Nintendo characters in such a long time. I guess there was King K. Rool, which was pretty cool. But I want more Nintendo representation. I want some more Xenoblade reps. I don't know. I just feel like maybe Waluigi can go in there. Mitchell threw up at when I was working today. He talked about Boo, and I'm like, how come Boo isn't in the game? How cool would it be to be a ghost? Like, I don't know.
Wow, that is not a bad point.
My man made Petey Piranha a viable fighter. He can make Boo a good fighter.
I'm in the same boat where it's like, hey, as long as we see different games getting into Smash, I don't really mind who the character is. Obviously, I have people I really, really want to see. But the only way I could be disappointed is really seeing a character from, a game that we've already seen a lot of representation for. That's why, honest to God, even though I like playing as Byleth, we have so much Final Fantasy.
God.
We have so much Final Fantasy, not Final Fantasy. We have so much Fire Emblem representation in Smash Bros. That you are going to be mad no matter what. Even though not a lot of people know what ARMS is or who Min Min is, I am so ecstatic that they're putting a new game into Smash Bros. And that we're seeing a new character. Zach, another question I had is, did they show us a little bit? Because every time they release a new character, they also release a new stage. Did we see what Min Min's stage is going to look like?
Yeah, so the new stage, I would say, is kind of the weakest part of this whole package.
Really?
It just seems like a normal stage. I mean, ARMS is it's a boxing game, so they did some creative things, but when Sakurai grabs something huge, he tries to make it kind of a general compass of the entire thing. I mean, there's some unique things, but it's basically like Little Mac stage, but there's some springs on the end of it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's cool. The springs are nice, but it's just kind of a basicer stage, but it has that ARMS flair.
Yeah.
And then there's some things at the top, like a rafter kind of thing, where if you hit that, you can kind of go do some crazy fun Smash things where you fly all around.
You know what? I'm looking at the stage right now too, and I don't know. I'm kind of in the same boat where it really doesn't look like anything special. It reminds me of Pokemon Stadium without all the cool land changes. But
like I said, it's a boxing game, so I feel like you really kind of had to pull from that. There was a skate park level I wish they could have done, but I don't know if that'd be the greatest representation of ARMS because that's just one of their levels, But JP,
yeah,
what's popping though? They have 18 new songs coming to Smash.
What?
And
18 new songs?
Yeah, all from the ARMS soundtrack. And that ARMS soundtrack, I still have that thing memorized in my head. That is such a catchy and bumping song.
Shit slaps.
I really hope we can get you or Zara to post on the Twitter just so people can experience it, because it's a bumping soundtrack, boys. It's a bumping soundtrack.
So I see that you posted a couple of unique fighting characteristics for Min Min in Smash. The first thing you said is that she's going to be terrible in air combat.
Right. So how Sakurai described it was basically once you're in the air, you can still do things, but it's not as bad as Little Mac, but you're just not going to be the best in air.
Okay.
But she excels at people who are kind of decently far away because she's got those long arms or springy arms that can go to hit people way far away.
And also another note you made is you can do 2 smash attacks at the same time.
Right. So you have that one punch, that other punch I was talking about earlier. It's pretty sweet.
So they really work independently of each other, even leading up to the fact that they each have their own smash gauge.
What do you mean smash gauge? Oh, no. So you can't charge both of them. You can charge one up and then do another punch.
Oh, I see. Well, still, that's really, really cool.
I'll have to go back and do a play-by-play on that one. But yeah, I'm not doing it justice. You need to watch the video because it's pretty cool.
I'm already checking it out and I'm very impressed. Something kind of out of the blue, not even having to do with Min Min or ARMS or the stage or anything. The Vault guy outfit from Fallout is going to be a new Mii costume?
Yeah, they started playing that trailer and I was like, this is pretty awesome. And he's not you don't have that creepy Mii face. I'm sure some of your Miis look very nice, but they all, I don't know, something about this lifeless stare of a Mii really creeps me out. So I say creep. But yeah, he pretty much takes over and you pretty much have this costume of the Vault guy from Fallout Shelter. And it looks really cool for a Mii costume.
So what do you think they're hinting at here, my friend?
I don't think there's going to be a Fallout character, but I think that's a really nice thing they threw in there. Because I know Bethesda and Nintendo have kind of a bromance budding right now. So
wow, it's literally Vault Boy from Fallout. That's so cool. I don't know. Is there a Fallout game that's out for the Switch right now?
The mobile game Fallout Shelter.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though, is I bet this is a little bit of a sneak peek. I'm willing to put money down that one of the Fallouts are about to come to the Switch.
Do it. I need to play Fallout. I haven't played it yet.
Fallout 4 was great. Fallout 76. let's just hope you get Fallout 4 on the Switch.
And so this comes out June 29th, so not too far away.
You know,
it's exciting
that's
stuff.
a week from when we're recording this. And what's funny is you were just talking about this the other day. Not just you, but my friend Nick, too. He was like, when are we going to get some Smash Bros. News? They've been sleeping on that.
Stupid COVID. Sakurai over there was like streaming from his home, and you have been proud, JP. He had the most clean setup. He had two like ginormous 65-inch TVs, and then he had a PS4, a Nintendo Switch, an Xbox One, and then he even had like a Nest just chilling over there. And I was like, dude, this guy over here, he knows how to game. It was so clean.
The name of the game is Unity.
Proud that he's doing the ultimate crossover game of all time.
He really is. He's doing work. So yeah, we got our Smash Bros. News. I'm very happy.
I gotta ask JP, who's one character? If you one of the last 5 characters and you get to pick anyone, who would you put in the Smash?
Sora for Smash. Sora for Smash. Sora for Smash. We've been begging. We've been pleading. I want my boy Sora from Kingdom Hearts in Smash. He would be such a good character. It would be so easy to make a moveset for him. You know what? I'm not getting into this.
JP. You're thinking too small. Sora's cool, but he's another blade user, bro. We need Goofy. Tanky Boy 101.
What about Donald? This looks like a great spot to find some ingredients.
Oh, God. Flashbacks.
Oh, my God. It's...
Mine, I think I'm all on the Chaos train, dude. I want to... Obviously, Xenoblade comes, and I think that's actually going to happen, but my pure Chaos pick is Goku, man.
Dude, that
just
would
go
be...
full stupid.
That would be if Sakurai was just like, fuck it, Goku and Smash. Like, what?
No one can one-up me. Not even the people who made Flash games back in 2002, man. Like, no one can one-up me.
Goku and Smash. Oh, my God. That would be really funny.
Broken.
Just for...
You always
just
win.
for the meme. Yeah, just put Goku and Smash. All right, man.
I think that's it, man, for our news. What do you say we move on to game releases?
Sounds good. All right. June 23rd, we've got SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated coming to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. This game has been hyped up quite a bit, huh?
Yeah, a lot of nostalgia for that game. Did you ever play it?
I got tidbits. One of my brothers played and I watched. It looked like fun. I just never got around to playing it.
I literally bought this for Krista. I'm like, I love video games. This is the first one she talked about. And so this is like her present for her. I bought her this and it's going to be shipped to her house like tomorrow. So we're excited.
Yeah. On June 24th, we've got Ninjala coming out for the Nintendo Switch. Also coming out on June 24th is Blair Witch coming to the Nintendo Switch. Zach, I've heard that's actually a pretty decent horror game. You picking that up?
You say Blair Witch or Ninjala?
Blair Witch, buddy.
I was like, Ninjala's a horror game?
Zach, I heard that Hello Kitty Island Adventure is a good horror game, bro.
I gotta play Resident Evil. After I beat Resident Evil, I might dabble, especially if it goes on sale.
I do want that to be your first horror game. That's a good pick for a first horror game. Coming out on June 25th is Mr. Driller Drill Land for the Switch and for the PC. Also coming out the 25th is Hunting Simulator 2 for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. On June 30th, we've got The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel 3 coming to Nintendo Switch. And on June 30th, we also have The Wonderful 101 Remastered for PC, PS4, Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch. Now, The Wonderful 101, we have decided is going to be the game that we're hyping up this week. Zach, why are we hyping up this game?
The Wonderful 101 is remastered as a team of heroes from around the world that have to unite to protect the Earth from vicious alien invaders, JP.
Cool.
Think Power Rangers meets Platinum Games.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
So there's a band of these 100 wonderful 101s, and they work together to use their fantastic abilities to create a variety of forms. I love it. The green one is literally a gun. You turn into a gun and you shoot things.
That would be an interesting Power Rangers, like the animal one, everyone like tiger, owl, gun.
And it just shoots and it kills. It's sweet. It's fabulous. There's the giant fist is red, the blue blade. I feel like I'm missing 2 of them, but yeah, I'm really excited to play this. And the final member of this team, the 101st player, not a Dalmatian, it's you, brother. All right, our sister.
That we're all inclusive at the Game T podcast.
You have no reason not to play this. It's coming to the Switch. It's coming to Xbox One. It's coming to PS4. It's coming to PC. If you already know about this game, you probably already bought it digitally because it's already out for all those things. But the physical game got delayed because COVID. Screw you, COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I have some more questions about the game. So first of all, what style of game is it? Is it an MMO?
Is it an MMO? My guy. Okay. It's a platinum action game. So like I said, like it's like you got your... I don't know how to describe it. So you got like your Pikmin kind of, all right? Your Pikmin are the Power Rangers I talked about earlier.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
But then all these Pikmin, they fight and they turn things like a giant fist or the gun and they beat stuff up. And that's your action game, kind of like Bayonetta.
Okay.
It's got style and it's got fun. It's just got that stuff to boot.
Do you play against other people?
No. It's just it's a story game.
Okay, but do they have any type of multiplayer to offer yet?
No multiplayer.
Boo.
But it's come on, JP.
I don't even care about multiplayer that much, to be honest. This sounds like a good time, I think. And for $40, it sounds like it's going to be worth the price tag.
Right. So it's like I said, it's a platinum game. So like once you master it, you really feel rewarded for playing it. But the one con is like you have to kind of figure out the combat on your own at first. It doesn't do a good job. I mean, you could watch a YouTube video and that would help too.
So it's one of those things where it's kind of hard to get into because it presents a challenge and a lot of different variables. But once you get into it, you just got to dive right in. It's actually not that bad. It's one of those things, huh?
It's pretty sweet. Yeah. Once you get in there, you're hooked.
Now, I also see that you posted some frame rate issues on every console. That's probably just because of the sheer amount of things going on, right?
And, you know, it's kind of funny. So this is originally was on the Wii U and it still had it has the exact same frame issues that it had on the Wii U. And back then you would say the Wii U is underpowered. But then if you play this on the PS4 Pro or the Xbox One X, you still have those same frame rate issues.
Yeah,
so
that's a good point.
Literally a direct port of the Wii U one. And this was a Kickstarter thing. It was originally just going to be on the Switch, and then Platinum was like, can we get it to everything? And so they did a Kickstarter so they could publish it and put it out onto like all the different consoles.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. That's what they did. And so it's kind of goofy that they have those frame rate issues, even on a powerful console like the PS4 Pro, the Xbox One X. But
I don't know.
For $40 and having a Platinum style action game, I really feel like you guys should not sleep on this title.
I think that's a good point. I've heard the Wonderful 101 talked about quite a bit. I mean, I use cult following a lot, but I feel like this is above cult following. I feel like enough people have talked about this game and like this game for it to really have a fan base, a true big fan base at this point. It's never too late to get into a good game.
And this was one of our earlier podcasts that we talked about how there was a Kickstarter for this game and they met the Kickstarter goal in like under an hour. It was crazy.
How much were
it
they
was a pretty
asking?
high goal.
Do you remember?
It was in the millions.
Jesus.
I don't know. Kickstarter, Wonderful 101. Yeah, the fans put their money where their mouth was. It was crazy. They reached their goal, and I want to say under an hour, and they reached all their milestones too.
Yeah.
And I think it says, you have to do the yen conversion, but 33,000 people pledged 235 million yen.
Oh.
So yeah. So the initial goal was 5 million yen. They made 235 million yen.
So at the very least, they blew their goal out of the water. That's 4 times the asking amount. Over 4 times the asking amount. That's awesome.
It's like 70 times the asking amount.
So yeah, in conclusion, if you're looking for the next big thing, it has been a crazy couple of weeks for games, and we just hit a lot of great releases, including The Last of Us Part 2. And the Pokemon DLC is out now too for Sword and Shield. But if you're looking for something a little different, something a little off the beaten path, I think this is going to be a game to check out.
Woo woo.
All right, Zach. That's going to pretty much do it for this episode. On Saturday, we already mentioned it a little bit. We're doing a great debate about what the best generation of Pokemon game was and why. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I'm ready to wipe the floor with you, scrubs.
I don't know. I'm pretty... I don't know, dude. I'm pretty stoked on my generation. I don't want to give too much away. I want to save it all for the debate, but it's going to be a good one. If you're a Pokemon fan, you're going to want to be there. It's going to be good.
Yeah. All right. I think that kind of does it for episode, JP. Anything else you want to add?
Nope. Just another beautiful week for gaming news in light of a very terrible world we're living in right now.
2 cheers for that. So yeah.
I'll drink to that. I'll drink game tea to that with vodka. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the podcast. Go check out the Twitter to see some of the videos we talked about in this episode, and we will talk to you guys on Saturday.
Bye.
Thank you all so much for listening to this episode of the Game Tea podcast. If you liked what you heard, why not follow us on social media? You can find us on Twitter at the Game Tea Podcast X. You can find us on Facebook at the Game Tea Podcast, and you can find us on Instagram at the Game Tea Podcast.